Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today is the 1st of July. I'm not doing that great. We did have a big heat wave in June and it ended yesterday, which brought me a lovely migraine, which hasn't passed so far. But then also because I was sleeping really badly because of the migraine, I somehow did something to my shoulder. It hurts really bad. I don't know. So I'm sorry for the way I'm looking right now, but I really wanted to start this vlog off right here because July is a very exciting reading month. One of my booktube friends, Cleo, from the channel Bemused Bookworm, is hosting a readathon called Gamenightathon, and it runs through the whole month of July. We are starting today, and this is a very complicated readathon. I'm not gonna explain everything here, but basically the first thing we have to do is roll the dice.
Okay, I think it is time to roll the die to know where we start off with Gamenightathon. Okay, number 4. Okay, so for the 4 prompts we have over 300 pages, disability, or more than 3 colors. Oh, that's a good one. We'll see which one I will pick.
So as you can see, I hit number 4, and we had to choose from 3 prompts that are kind of color-coded. There is a black, a yellow, and a white prompt. I decided to go for the black prompt first, and that is to read a book that is over 300 pages, which fits quite well because for the cluster that I'm working on right now, we do need 400 pages. And then we also have the secret first star prompt, which is to read a book with an evil main character. And so this is what I'm supposed to do. So you get extra points if your cover is black. Now, I've been staring at that cover for a while now. I'm still not sure. I think it is dark green, but I will ask in the group chat for the readathon what the others think. But nonetheless, I'm going to be reading How to Become the Dark Lord and Die Trying by Django Wexler. This is going to be my physical ebook read, and I'm really intrigued to see how it goes. This is the first book in a series. I don't know if it's going to be a duology or more, so usually I wait with these until everything in the series is out to marathon read it. But I think with this one, I don't know, it just gives me a feeling that it's not that deep, so I'm just gonna read this first book and I hope I really enjoy it. I think this one follows a woman who has tried to save the world hundreds of times and she never succeeded, so now she's all fed up and she's like, you know what, if I can't defeat the Dark Lord, what if I become the Dark Lord? So I don't know if this is really like an evil main character because the book does sound quite humorous, but I think, you know, deciding not to help people anymore and instead to try to become the Dark Lord yourself, it does sound pretty evil to me. At least we can assume that there is a lot of frustration with this character. So this is gonna be my first book for this readathon, but I also started a new audiobook this morning, and that is Poison Song by Jenn Williams. This is the third and final book in the Winnowing Flame trilogy. I'm really excited to read the finale of this, and I have enjoyed the first 2 books quite a lot, so I hope I will really like the last book. This is also a little read-along we're doing for the Dragon read-along on also the channel Bemused Bookworm, so a lot of Cleo reading in my near future. So I hope you have fun. I will have fun. I will just stay at home and read my book. Luckily it's an ebook because my shoulder could not hold up a book today. And we'll see how it goes. I'll update you when something interesting happens. So today is the 2nd of July. I'm feeling a little bit better. My shoulder still hurts a little bit, but it's definitely much better than it was yesterday. And I wanted to give you a quick reading update because I did quite a bit of reading because I did have the time yesterday, because I was basically lying on my couch feeling sorry for myself. So yeah, me and my e-reader had a great time yesterday. I managed to read about the first 40% of How to Become the Dark Lord and Die Trying. This is definitely a humorous book, as you could probably guess from the title. We are following this young woman who gets stuck in this magical world. She's from our world, pretty much from today, I would say. Like, the references all are pretty like normal, what you expect from someone living today. And she gets stuck in this magical world, and she is supposed to achieve something there. And until she does, she is stuck in a time loop. So whenever she dies, she is kind of reset, as you would be in a video game where you can't save. So whenever she dies, she wakes up in this kind of pond, and there is this Merlin-like wizard coming to her to tell her that she was prophesied to save this world. And for like about 2000 years now, in like, if you count it all together, all her lives, she has been trying to help the humans defeat the Wilders. And she has had enough. Like, her last death, I think it was her like 237th life. It was very horrible. She got captured and tortured, and yeah, just she's had enough. She wants to get out. And so she's like, you know what? I have tried this for like so many times now. I'm gonna change things up. If I can't succeed in saving the humans, I will become the Dark Lord myself. So then she goes to the Wilders and tries to win their support to become the Dark Lord. And this is very snarky, very funny. In parts you can definitely see that this is written by a man writing a female character, because she is very horny all the time. And you know, no judgment. I'm sure there is like very horny women as well, and they need to be represented as well. But you know, sometimes just the way it is portrayed is a little bit on the icky side. Apart from that, yeah, she is basically attracted to anything and everything that can walk. Even the like stone eaters, which for one, stone eaters are something different in my mind, because of the Broken Earth trilogy. And the second thing is they're funny. They're hella funny. I love the stone eaters, but I don't think they're particularly sexy. So yeah, this is like definitely a very funny, snarky, not taking itself seriously at all story. But towards the middle now, there have been some moments where there's a little bit more of a quiet, where you can see the character develop a little bit more. So I have been enjoying that as well, and I hope that it will find the balance, because I don't know if like the funny part can carry the next 250 pages of this book. So we'll see. But yeah, it was great to make a good start with this, even though the reason wasn't that great. And then I also started my audiobook, which is The Poison Song, and I won't talk about it here much because I'm doing a whole separate reading vlog for this series. But the beginning of this book was already amazing, and I'm just so excited to come to the end of this journey with these characters that I love dearly. So yeah, first day of reading in July has been very successful. Let's see how the rest of the week goes.
I got this beautiful book in the mail today for my little rereading project. that just completely ripped my screens I have on the window.
So today is the 8th of July and I wanted to give you a quick update. Unfortunately, I did not get a lot of reading done this weekend. I had friends over and we did some exploring around the city here and stuff like that. So really not much reading has happened, but I'm currently 3/4 into How to Become the Dark Lord and Die Trying, and I'm still really enjoying it. I think with this one, you really have to read a reading sample and see whether the writing style would annoy you, because it is very unique. It's very snarky, very sarcastic, very dirty-mouthed, but I am enjoying it. I think something I like about it is that even though the main character is very sarcastic and very witty, she's still also very smart. So she does do some stupid things, but then she would be like, yeah, you're probably all screaming at me right now, but just imagine I haven't slept in like 2 days and it's all been like mayhem and madness organizing my camp and stuff like that. So maybe you wouldn't have seen it coming either and stuff. So I think it is very self-aware, and the main character is definitely still very capable because she has like 2000 years of experience with this world and leading armies and stuff like that. So I do enjoy that quite a bit. The point where I'm at right now, we're going to start some trials. So I'm very excited to see what happens with that. I'm pretty sure that that will be the rest of the book, and there will be a continuation. I think it is a duology, so we'll see. I'm definitely intrigued. I think for the end of this book, we will probably find out whether Davy actually manages to become the Dark Lord. And probably in the next book, it will be more about whether she can break the cycle and get back from this like fantasy world into her real life, kind of wake up from this repeating nightmare. So yeah, I'm still really liking it. For my audiobook, I'm also almost halfway through with that right now. I'm also really enjoying it. The Poison Song, the finale, there is again a lot of like character development, a lot of like revelations about the characters, about the world. So some things I saw coming, other things are quite surprising right now. And some of the characters you really want to hit over the head with something because they are just not very smart, or like they think they're very smart, but they're actually not. So yeah, I'm intrigued to see how it ends. And that's where I'm at with my reading. I'll update you when something interesting happens. Probably when I finally finish my first book for Gamenightathon. So I tried to pack some cherries for lunch. Please ignore my trash there. But I'm not allowed to take them. So today is the 10th of July, and last night I finished my first book for Gamenightathon, and that was How to Become the Dark Lord and Die Trying by Django Wexler. I did really end up enjoying this book. I think that while it is very humorous, it is very much a satire And the main character is quite mouthy and just frustrated and grumpy. There is a twist towards the end that infuses it with a little bit more like real feeling, and I really appreciated the way that was done. There was actually one scene where I was like almost close to tears with this book. So yeah, I think this is really well done. I had a great time with it. Obviously, if you don't vibe with the humor, this book would be horrible. But for me, it definitely worked. And I think the best thing you can do if you're interested in this book is just check out a little reading sample. If you like the style from the beginning, you will like it. Now, one thing I must say is that there is footnotes in this book, which I usually don't mind, but because my e-reader is quite old, the footnotes didn't work. So usually when there's footnotes in books, I can just click on them and then it jumps to the footnote, but in this book it didn't work because it was probably programmed in a way that my e-reader just can't handle anymore. So that was a little bit frustrating. For the first half of the book, I would pull up the footnotes on my laptop, but then I just got lazy, so I basically just skipped the footnotes, which was fine. They're usually just like snarky remarks about something, so you don't miss out a lot if you ignore the footnotes. So overall, I gave it 4 stars. I'm very happy that this was my first book of the readathon. We have finished the first 4 squares with this one, and also we did check off the first of the stars, which gives extra points. So while I'm still in the minus points, I have made quite good progress with this one book already. So now it is time to roll the dice again. Okay, it is time for the second roll. Oh, I don't know if this is good. Oh, this is actually very good, I think, because the next spot I wanted to fill is white. So we have mood read, which is very perfect. And we need a mood read with 300 pages to fill this. I think I'm gonna find something for it. And so for the mood read, what is the mood right now? Let's be honest. It is Summerween and people are reading horror books and I feel like I'm missing out. I need something a little bit spooky, a little bit creepy. So I looked through the books I have currently checked out on Libby, and one book that kind of fits that mood, I think, is Gallant by Victoria Schwab. Now, I have never read a Victoria Schwab book before, and I know that this is one that a lot of people did not like. So I'm going in with like quite low expectations, but it's something that intrigues me, even though I know it's not the best. So we'll see how it goes. It's also quite short. It's only 300 pages, which is what I need for the next spot. So yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna read Gallant, and I'll update you how it goes. I hope that because it is quite short, I will be able to finish it during the weekend and then maybe even start my next read. We'll see. And for my audiobook, I am now, I think, 2/3 of the way into Poison Song, really enjoying it. I know I'm gonna miss these characters so much. The moment this series is over, I will miss them so much, and the stakes are high. We'll see. Like the moment I'm at right now, they are like starting something where I'm like, it's too early in the book for it to work. I'm scared. So we'll see. But yeah, that is good progress as well.
It's like you want to lose. At least I know who I am. Stop being mad at me for wanting a different future. It's not your future if you're pretending to be someone else. Rolling. My nose is bleeding.
So it is the 11th of July and I am now 1/3 of the way into Gallant. So I can tell you a little bit of what this book is actually about. So this is basically similar to Crimson Peak. We do have a young girl who lives in an orphanage. It is called the school, but really it's just for orphans to go there and be out of the way. And our main character is really poorly there. The other girls don't treat her well, and she just wants to get out. And she has this old journal from her mother that is very unhinged. Like, it seems like her mother had a lot of like mental trouble before she disappeared and gave up her daughter. But there is the last line in the journal, and that says basically, as long as you stay away from Gallant, you will be fine. And so one day she is called into the headmistress's office and is told that there is a letter for her from her uncle calling her home to Gallant. We'll see what happens from there. She has arrived at the house now. It does take a little while before she even gets there. And one thing is that our main character also can see ghosts, but in this world they're called ghouls, and she sees them like everywhere. She wasn't sure if it was just in the orphanage, but now she's also seeing them in the Gallant, like a manor house. And yeah, she's just arrived, and the question is whether she will be allowed to stay there, which she probably will in some way, and what is going on. And we do have, like, if you've looked at the cover at all, you can see that there's basically two houses, and that is something that has also popped up in the first third of the book, that there is a lot of like imagery with two houses. And so the question is, what is the other house? What happened to her family? Where's her mother? Stuff like that. So yeah, I'm intrigued. This is pretty much what I knew about the book, so I like that I'm now into the meat of things, like starting to see what's going on with the house. It does take quite a while, and so far it's a fine read. I don't feel like particularly hooked by it or anything, but this is along the lines what I expected, so completely fine, and we'll see where it goes.
It's up to us now to make him proud.
So today is the 14th of July, and I do have reading updates. Last night I finished reading my second book for the readathon, Gallant. This is a short little book by V E Schwab, so it was very easy to finish. I think I already talked about what it is about a little bit. I didn't have like the highest expectations for this. I had heard that even a lot of V E Schwab's fans weren't like the biggest fan of this particular book, and it was fine. It was cute. It definitely like scratched the itch I had for like something a little bit more spooky with all of the ghouls hanging around. And so overall I gave it 3.5 stars, and I think if you have the right expectations, this can be quite a fun little read. It definitely fit very well for the readathon, so I'm happy I had that. And yeah, I wouldn't like necessarily recommend it, but I also like wasn't disappointed or anything, and it was quite fun. So with that out of the way, we are ready for roll number 3.
Okay, we have finished book 2 and it is time for roll number 3. 2. Okay, so we have animals, randomize, or under 300 pages. And I think because it does fit so well, we're gonna do the black one, because I'm almost done with my audiobook, Poison Song, And that one has a ton of like mythical beings, but also bats, for example. So it definitely fits the animals. And the only issue is that it is only 500 and some pages, so I will have to leave one of those open. I'll see which one, so I can only mark 5 spaces of that. But because I'm almost done with that, we can do the next roll as well, which would be roll number 4.
And now I have finished that third book already as well. I just finished listening to The Poison Song, and this is such a fantastic series. I gave this last book 4.5 out of 5 stars. The reading vlog is coming up next week. If you've read the series or if you want to hear all of my thoughts on the series, then definitely come back next week and I will let you know all about it. It's probably going to be quite a long video, but it was just such a great series and I had quite a bit to say about it, so sorry not sorry. But yeah, that means we have a book number 3 out of the way as well for the readathon, and it is time for roll number 4.
5. Okay, so we have red cover, new to you author, or tavern and bar. I think with that I'm gonna head for the yellow one. I'm not quite sure right now. I could maybe also do the white one, but I do not know if it is set in a tavern or bar. I don't think it is. So I'm aiming for the yellow because I want to start Rune of Kings next. Again, that one is only over 500 pages, so I will have to leave one of the squares off, but I will see which one I will do.
And so we are starting right into the next series reading vlog with Rune of Kings. This is the first book in a 5-book series that I want to read this summer, so it is about time to get started. I'm also going to be buddy reading this with some people on the Discord of Yulene Reads, so I'm very excited about that. And we'll just see how it goes. So far, I have no knowledge of what this book is about, but it is high fantasy, there is dragons, and I've heard that there is a very unique way of telling this story, so I'm very excited to get started with that. And then I also want to start a next audiobook, and if you have followed my reading in the last couple of weeks and months, you're not gonna be surprised because I want to finish off another one of my series reading vlogs that I've been working on for quite a while, and that is the Life Ship Traders. So the next audiobook I will start is the 3rd book, The Ship of Destiny. Now in this series we are following a world where there is life ships. They're made of a special wood, and if 3 captains in a row die on the ship will quicken and come to life. We're following mainly the Vestred family as their ship quickens, the Vivacia, and we have a lot of like family stuff going on, a lot of political stuff going on. I did enjoy the 2nd book quite a bit more than the first one. The first one was a little bit unfocused, just getting to know the characters. The 2nd one, definitely we focused more on the pathways that our characters are now set on to see where it goes. There were quite a few quite dramatic things happening at the end of book 2, so I'm intrigued to see where it goes in that last book. I have heard that a lot of people like the 2nd book best, so I am prepared to not be like completely taken with this finale. I think it is probably going to be 4 stars, but I am excited. It is a long audiobook, so that will take probably the rest of the month and a little bit more to listen to. But yeah, that's the plans. I'll update you when something interesting happens. So today is the 17th of July, and with that we come to the end of this first part of the July vlog. I haven't really read that much since we last spoke, which is a bit sad. I really expected differently, but then things came up, you know, and sometimes that's fine too. So I am currently about a quarter of the way into Ruin of Kings, which is quite impressive still because this is a very dense read. There's a lot of words on the page, and it is very interesting and intriguing. There was definitely a very great scene right when I stopped reading yesterday. I was at the hairdresser's and it was like a very intense scene, and I was waiting with the color, and so my hairdresser came and she was like, yeah, your color is done now, so you have to come and like rinse it out. And I was like, no, I'm like in the middle of the scene, I can't. But yeah, so I'm definitely enjoying that one. I have also started reading my audiobook. What's it called? Ship of Destiny. I am getting back into the story. I think that Robin Hobb does a good job of like recapping things at the beginning of this book. So if you had like a bigger break between the books, you can get back to the story very quickly. Since I read them kind of back to back, I didn't really need that. So the beginning is a little bit slow, but I'm definitely intrigued to see where it goes, and I'll talk more about that in my upcoming vlogs. So yeah, that's where I'm at with Gamenightathon. I think that so far I'm doing quite well for like what I expected, and we'll see where it goes from here.
So this is the board at the halfway point of the readathon. And then also, if you're interested, I currently have -9 points. So I really want to get into the not negative realm of numbers. We'll see.
I hope you had fun with this first part of the vlog. Let me know whether you enjoy the whole like dice rolling aspect of it, because I'm definitely having fun with it. But I've also been very lucky so that the books I want to read actually fit into the dice rolls. So could go wrong as well, and maybe it will in the second half of the month. We will see. I hope you come back to watch that video. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss it. You can leave a like or a nice comment. I always really appreciate those, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye!